Hey, welcome to the Weekly Wave. Discipline. Just saying the word might bring up memories of a strict teacher or a coach blowing a whistle or maybe even your parents giving you just the look. It's not exactly a warm, fuzzy word. It doesn't have the sparkle of motivation or the excitement of inspiration. In fact, discipline feels just heavy, rigid, or unforgiving. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't about punishment. Discipline isn't about taking the joy out of life. Discipline, when understood correctly, is actually about freedom. It's about respect. It's about creating the kind of life you dream of living, one choice at a time. And that's why discipline matters, because without it, nothing else works for very long. Let's start with something people often confuse: the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is wonderful. It's like rocket fuel. It's that rush you get after watching a David Goggins video, or the energy that hits you when you start a new project. But motivation is a mood. It fades. Nobody feels motivated every single day. In fact, most people feel unmotivated most of the time. Discipline, though, discipline doesn't care how you feel. It's not asking, do you want to? It's simply asking, will you? Motivation will get you to the gym on day 1, but discipline gets you there on day 101, 201, 401, when you're tired, when it's raining, and when no one's watching. And ironically, that's what makes discipline so freeing. At first glance, discipline looks like restriction. It looks like saying no to junk food, to spending sprees, to scrolling endlessly on your phone or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. But really, discipline is how you say yes to the bigger things in life. Think of it in terms of money. If you have the discipline to save, you're not missing out on the little purchases. You're giving yourself the freedom to one day buy a house, travel the world, retire, or simply just to live without stress. Without discipline, your freedom today can trap you tomorrow. And health works the same way. Saying no to fast food might feel like a burden or a challenge now, but that discipline is buying your future self energy, mobility, and putting years on your life rather than taking them away. People who avoid discipline often tell themselves that they're choosing freedom, but if you look closely, they're usually the least free. They're chained to debt, chained to unhealthy habits, chained to stress that they can't escape. There's also another layer that is rarely talked about. Discipline isn't just external. It's actually deeply internal. Every time you practice discipline, you're not just building habits. You're building trust with yourself. You're proving to yourself quietly that your word means something. And that's where real confidence comes from. Not the likes on social media, not the applause and approval from other people, but from knowing deep down, if I say I'll do something, I'll do it. That's the kind of self-respect that just can't be faked. It's earned in the small, invisible moments. Waking up when your alarm goes off, finishing the assignment on time, choosing the salad when you really, really, really want the fries. They seem tiny, but they stack up. And over time, you either become someone you can rely on or someone you don't trust. This is where many people secretly struggle. When we consistently break promises to ourselves, even the small ones, it chips away at our sense of identity. We start to feel unworthy, even if we can't put it into words. On the outside, we might look fine, but inside, we know the truth. We keep letting ourselves down. Discipline repairs that. Discipline says, you can rely on you again. And once that's restored, everything else, the confidence, peace, strength, freedom, it all follows. Now let's zoom out and look at how discipline shows up in every area of life. Take relationships for an example. Love, at its core, isn't just a feeling. It's a discipline. Feelings change. Feelings come and go. But discipline is what keeps a relationship alive long after the butterflies fade. Discipline is choosing to listen instead of snapping back. It's choosing to stay when it's easier to walk away. It's apologizing when you'd rather defend yourself. Relationships don't survive on sparks. They survive on the discipline of showing up again and again and again and again. And when both people in a relationship understand this concept, love doesn't just endure, it deepens. The same is true for dreams. Think about how many people say, I want to write a book, or I want to start a business, or I want to run a marathon. Almost everyone in this world has dreams. But dreams, without discipline, stay dreams. Writing a book isn't glamorous. It's sitting down every day, staring at a blank screen, and forcing yourself to type. Starting a business isn't all inspiration. It's paperwork, it's late nights, and handling a lot of rejection and failure. And running a marathon isn't just the race day. It's every morning at 5 a.m. you lace up your shoes when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what transforms the fantasy of a dream into the reality of an achievement. And the beautiful thing, you don't need talent to practice discipline. You don't need luck. You don't even really need to feel ready. You just need the willingness to show up consistently over time. And that's where most people miss the point. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Too many of us think, well, I missed one workout, I might as well give up. Or I ate one bad meal, the diet is ruined. But real discipline isn't harsh. It doesn't expect you to be perfect. It expects you to come back, punching the clock, day after day. Discipline is like a compass. You might wander off course, but it's always guiding you back home. And when you approach discipline with kindness, you see it as an act of love for your future self, instead of a punishment for your present self. It stops feeling heavy, and it starts really feeling empowering. But come on, let's be honest. Discipline is way harder today than it's ever been. We live in a world that is literally engineered to break it. Our phones are slot machines in our pockets, feeding us dopamine with every notification that comes across our screen. Advertisements are practically screaming at us to buy now, eat now, indulge now. Everything is not designed for instant gratification. Do this now. And in this environment, discipline becomes a superpower, basically. The ability to say no, the ability to focus, the ability to delay that gratification. These aren't just nice skills, they're revolutionary. And here's the funny thing. When you practice discipline in a just generally distracted world, you immediately stand out. At work, at school, in your relationships, you become rare. And obviously, rare is valuable. There's also science behind this. Psychologists call it delayed gratification. The famous marshmallow experiment tested kids by offering them one marshmallow now or two marshmallows later if they could wait. The kids who had the discipline to wait, who practiced patience, ended up with better life outcomes so many years later. Better grades, better careers, better health. It wasn't just about the marshmallow. It was about self-control. And today, every decision we make is a marshmallow test. Do we scroll or do we study? Do we save or spend? Do we sleep or watch another quick episode? Each choice shapes who we're becoming as a person. And maybe that's the biggest reason discipline matters, because it builds not just habits, not just achievements, but character. The person you are 5 years from now will be shaped not by one big decision you made in your life, but by the thousands of small, tiny decisions you make every single day. Discipline is how you sculpt that person. It's how you create the life you want, even when it's hard. And the truth is, I don't think anyone ever regrets being disciplined. Nobody looks back and says, I wish I hadn't worked hard. I wish I hadn't saved money. I wish I hadn't cared for my health. If anything, the regrets people have are almost always about when they lack discipline. I wish I'd taken better care of myself. I wish I'd stuck with it. I wish I hadn't quit so soon. Discipline prevents regret in that sense. So why does discipline matter? Why am I making this video? Because it's the bridge between desire and reality. Because it's the difference between chaos and peace. Because it's the greatest gift you can give yourself and the people around you. Discipline isn't a cage. It's a key that unlocks freedom, self-respect, love, and legacy. And the best part, discipline isn't something you're either born with or without. It's something you build. One decision at a time, one day at a time, one small act at a time. So the next time you hear your inner voice say, I don't feel like it, remember, discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline asks who you want to be. And if you can answer that question clearly, if you can love your future self enough to make the sacrifices today, then discipline just stops being a burden and it becomes a blessing. Because at the end of the day, discipline matters. And so do you. Thank you so much for listening.